Hello my dear students, welcome back to Science Classroom. Nellai Nadar E-Learning Vibrant Class. This is Jnanasundari here, one of the physics teacher of 10th standard. 10th Physics, Unit 1, Laws of Motion. Students, previous class you have learnt about rotating effect of force, moment of the force and application of torque. Today's session we are going to discuss principle of moments, Newton's second law of motion and its derivations and units. Let us start today's session. Yes. First of all, we are going to see principle of moments. Have you seen the picture, children? Yes, this is the basic diagram of principle of moments. The center point is pivot point, that is fulcrum. Right hand side load and left hand side effort. One is known weight and another one is unknown weight. For example, balance. Okay, let's see what is principle of moment. If the anti-clockwise moment, that is left hand side, and the clockwise moment, that is right hand side, are equal, then the seesaw is balanced. The center point is pivot point. This is known as the principle of moments. When something is balanced about a very good, that is pivot point. So the total clockwise moment is equal to total anti-clockwise moment. Now we are going to prove total clockwise moment is equal to total anti-clockwise moment. So we know that two types of moments, that is clockwise moment and anti-clockwise moment. So, for an object to be in equilibrium, when the object in equilibrium, that means what is the meaning of equilibrium? Stable or not moving. The total clockwise moment must be equal to anti-clockwise moment about the same pivot point. Let's look at some worked examples. So the center point is pivot point. We know that the right hand side, that is load. Okay. So left hand side weight. That means effort. Right hand side load, left hand side effort. The center point is pivot point. So the effort is from the pivot point 1 meter distance. The load is placed at from the pivot point 2 meter distance. So the 20N is the F1 force. We have considered the 20N is the F1 force. 10N is the F2 force. 1 meter is the D1, distance 1. 2 meter is the distance 2. So now we know that F1 D1 and F2 D2. So F1 into D1 is equal to F2 into D2. Using this formula, we are going to calculate the worked examples. So the left hand side is the anti-clockwise moment. Already we know that. So F1 into D1. So 20 into 1 is equal to 20. We know that, children, what is the unit of force? Newton. What is the symbol of Newton? N. So the distance unit is meter. The symbol is M. So 20 N M. Next, clockwise moment. D2 F2 into D2. F2 value 10N and D2 value 2. So 10 into 2 is equal to 20 Newton meter. See the answer, children. Now we have proved anticlockwise moment is equal to clockwise moment. So another example, the principle of moments states that if an object is not turning, the principle of moment states that if an object is not turning, so that means the total clockwise moment about the pivot is equal to total anticlockwise moment about the pivot. Using the data in the diagram, you should be able to calculate. So, moment caused by weight of the ladder. Have you seen the picture? Yes. Moment Newton's second law. Children, already you have learnt in 9th standard Newton's second law. So, F is equal to mass into acceleration. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. The basic concept here, the acceleration depends on two factors, that is mass and net force. We are going to understand through the activity, that means the picturized example. If the force applied to the cart is the same, the acceleration of the empty cart is greater than the acceleration of the loaded cart. So the acceleration will increase when a large force is exerted. The greater the mass, the smaller the acceleration for a given force. So mass is inversely related to force. A is equal to F by m. Acceleration is equal to force by mass. An object with twice the mass will have half the acceleration if the same force is applied. So less mass, the acceleration speed is increase. More mass, less acceleration. Speed increases slower. State Newton's second law. According to this law, the force acting on a body is directly proportional to the rate of change of linear momentum of the body, and change in momentum takes place in the direction of the force. This law helps us to measure the amount of force, so it is called as law of force. So Newton's second law is also known as law of force. So let m be the mass of moving body moving along a straight line with an initial speed u. After an interval of time t, the velocity of the body changes to v due to impact of an unbalanced external force. We know that, children, the linear momentum formula, what is that? P is equal to the product of mass into velocity. Using this equation, we are going to derive Newton's second law of motion. What is the formula of linear momentum? P is equal to mass into velocity. So P is equal to mv. So initial momentum of the body. So what is the symbol of linear momentum? P. So P I is equal to mu. U is the initial velocity. Final momentum of the body, Pf is equal to mv. So change in momentum symbol delta P. So delta P is equal to Pf minus Pi. So what is the value of Pf? mv. What is the value of Pi? mu. By Newton's second law of motion, force is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. So force is directly proportional to change in momentum divided by time. Change in momentum means delta P. So that is the mv minus mu. So force directly proportional to mv minus mu divided by t. So instead of proportional, we should write equal and k. So f is equal to k m into v minus u divided by t. Here k is the proportionality constant, so k is equal to 1 in all systems of unit. Hence, f is equal to m into v minus u divided by t. Since the acceleration, that is a, is equal to change in velocity, that is v minus u, divided by time, that is t. So the formula is, what is the formula of acceleration? A is equal to v minus u divided by t. Hence we have f is equal to m into a, that is force equal to mass into acceleration. We have found the Newton's second law formula through the formula of linear momentum. So Newton's second law motion in day-to-day life example, sports example. When hitting a tennis ball, the force of the rocket swing causes the ball to accelerate in the direction of the swing force. A heavier ball is slower than a lighter one. No external force is required to maintain the motion of a body moving with uniform velocity when the net force acting on a body is not equal to 0. Then definitely the velocity of the body will change. Thus, change in momentum takes place in the direction of the force. The change may take place either magnitude or in direction or in both. Force is required to produce the acceleration of a body. So force is required to produce the acceleration of a body. In a uniform circular motion, even though the speed, that is magnitude of velocity, remains constant, the direction of the velocity changes at every point on the circular path. So the acceleration is produced along the radius called centripetal acceleration. The force which produces this acceleration is called as centripetal force, about which you have learnt in 9th standard. Unit of force. SI unit of force is Newton, and in CGS system is Dyne. Definition of 1 Newton. N. The amount of force required for a body of mass 1 kilogram produces an acceleration of 1 meter per second. So 1 N is equal to 1 kilogram meter second square. Definition of 1 Dyne. The amount of force required for a body of mass 1 gram produces an acceleration of 1 centimeter second square. So 1 Dyne is equal to 1 gram centimeter square. Also 1 N is equal to 10 to the power 5 Dyne. Students, if you have any queries, ask through the WhatsApp. Your doubts will be clarified during online live streaming classes. Thank you, my dear students.